Yeah, can we stop making excuses for celebrities at Diddy parties? Can we stop saying things like, "Oh, just because they were there, I don't doesn't mean that they were involved. Oh, just because of this, blah 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 blah. We don't actually know what they were doing." Can I just say that is so unhelpful? For starters, but we won't even get into why it's unhelpful. Let me tell you guys why the entertainment industry is laughing at you. Meanwhile, you're broke. Meanwhile, you're going through all the hell you're going through. You're struggling in life. You're struggling to pay your medical bills. These people are monetizing your foolishness because while you sit here, keep believing the best in the people that are working against you, right? They are loving it. Why do you think all of a sudden all of these celebrities are unfollowing each other? All of these celebrities are shutting down businesses and this, that, and the other. Kevin Hart's shut down this, whatever. Why do you think that's happening? Oh, because they were all just going to the Diddy parties and they were just turning a blind eye while he alone and a couple of people got up to some weird stuff. Are we really that dense in 2024? Have we learned nothing in the 9 months that we've been living this year and things have been coming out? And can I tell you why this is such a big issue? Because if you actually think like this, you're part of the problem. You're part of the reason these people get away with it. Because the only reason why you're thinking that way is you don't want to have to accept the truth. Listen, I get it. This is why I'm pessimistic. I've got quite a dark opinion of the world, right? Because some of us haven't had the luxury of not believing something because we've been on the other end of it, right? So wanting to hope and believe, oh, that can't have happened, that is a state of privilege. I don't know if people realize that because you're not in a position where you have to know that that is something that's real. Where how many of these people in the entertainment industry, people talking about Justin Bieber, talking about, oh, Justin Bieber, looking back now, looking back, it's all this looking back, looking back. I'm like, what do you mean looking back? Why didn't you care then? Because it was uncomfortable for you to have to address, because it was uncomfortable for you to have to accept, because you don't want to be taken out of your comfortability that you like watching the Kardashians, or you like love listening to Beyonce, or you like listening to whoever or supporting whatever. You like their music, right? It's just like everybody was saying with the whole R. Kelly thing. In society, we say we care so much, but when it comes down to the likes of these folks, it's like, oh, should we separate the artist from the music? Oh, but were they really there? Like, well, just because they were at the party, like, do you guys really think that somebody like Diddy, as powerful as he is, just has all these people casually at these parties that can just snitch at any given moment? The only reason why we're only finding out about this stuff now, or I should say you guys are, because a lot of us, especially members of the winning team, have been knowing. The only reason why people are finding out now is because there's been enough people willing to go against the system. And it is a whole overarching system. It isn't like, oh, just this little wherever. No. I've said this before. I've said this for years. This is literally how the enemy works in this world, right? The enemy, the devil, Satan. He gets people to do things that they can be blackmailed on, right? Blackmail is literally the greatest way, because all they have to do is, because think about it, we're a world that is enslaved to money, power, and fame, right? The temptation trio, as I like to call it, from the devil, right? Money, power, and fame. So all the enemy has to do is give us what we want, whatever we're a slave to, right? It could be women, could be whatever it could be, right? As well. Let's not forget that, right? And then get us in a precarious situation and have proof, because this is what the world does. You see how the devil plays you against yourself? The same way you guys will be like, oh, how do we know that Diddy did this? And how do we know that? Because people spend decades like, well, we heard this, but there's no proof. Again, I feel like saying there's no proof is an excuse for we don't want to have to address if this is the truth. The same way that you do that, oh, we don't have any proof. Yeah, you see the devil, he knows because he's the one who's organizing all of this. So he's on the other side saying, haha, I'll get proof of what I know. So you won't be able to prove what I've done to you, but I can prove what you've done. And so I can sway the jury of the sheeple easily in my direction. And therefore, I now have control over you because I can now blackmail you. The devil's antics have never changed. The devil's antics have never changed. To this day, his name, the Satan, it literally means the accuser in Greek. The accuser, what does he do? He goes and tempts us to do the things we're not supposed to do, gets us into situations we don't want to find ourselves in. Why? So then he can run to God and be like, so you're going to have to send them to hell, like me, right? So they're going to have to go, you're going to have to send them to hell with me, right? I'm going to go and that's why the Bible says that Jesus is defending us. He's our defender and saying, Father, I died for them. Please forgive them. Even on the cross, he says, Father, they know not what they do, while people are lashing at him and spitting on him and all of this, that, and the other. So this is why I don't get the world. This is why I think this is a very stupid society to live in. And for people to be like so shocked, like, oh, we saw this. No, stop making excuses for these celebrities. Stop giving them the benefit of the doubt. Stop giving them the benefit of the doubt. Oh no, we don't know if they really knew. If they really knew, like they knew and they were involved. And they have to do it blatantly because, listen, the devil can't do things hidden. He has to do it in your face because God is a God of justice. Therefore, we have to have known that there were two options. That's why when there was the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, there was the tree of life. That's why when we see all these old tapes, like people are like, why were the Kardashians partying with Justin Bieber when he was 16? And there's a clip of Courtney saying how she loves the Diddy Parties, and they love all these celebrities have had to publicly at some point, even TD Jakes, all these folks, right? Have had to publicly show their allegiance and have had to say these heinous things. And you know why they get away with it? Because we as a society don't want to accept the uncomfortable things because we live in these little privileged, coddled little environments where we all kiss each other's butts and we all sway with the jury of the sheeple because it's so much more comfortable to go along with what everybody else is doing than it is to stand up for what's right these days, right? And always has been. Hello. That's why all the people who've done anything in history, they've always had to go against the grain. Right? We'd rather do that than accept the truth of what's going on, even if it means that there are all these victims at hand. We don't care. And they have to put this stuff in our face. You know why? So that when push comes to shove, guess what? You know who's going to be telling you? You know who's going to be saying to God on your behalf when we get to the other side of this life? You know who's going to be reminding God of you ignoring what was in front of you? It's going to be the devil. The devil's going to be saying, this is what I'm saying. He's laughing at you. We are the human beings, we are the laughing stock to the devil. Because he's going to be the one saying to God, oh, have you seen? I even showed them on this TV program. I even said, all my minions, they were even saying out loud exactly what they were doing. Beyonce's telling everybody that she can't even sing without this demon Sasha Fierce. I've made sure that they've told the people and the people still didn't listen. He'll be laughing and cackling at you when we get to the other side. And you'll just be sitting there looking like a dum-dum. And then have the audacity to say, oh, why would God send anybody to hell? Why would God do this? Listen, God has given you the options. He's at least held the devil accountable that he's got to be fair. So we've got to have options and we've got to know what we're getting ourselves into. So that we can't be held accountable for something we don't know. The Bible talks about it. You're not going to be held accountable for sins you don't know about. But you will be held accountable for the things you did know. That's why when people are like, oh, why does God send people to hell? Send people where? He said to Adam and Eve, listen, the wages of sin is death. If you decide to do that, you're going to die. Hell is part of death. Hell is the fulfillment of death. It's not like a place that God is just sending people. He says, choose what you want to do. You have options. That's called being fair. That's called being just. I know that's the real justice system, not like the one in this world where the likes of P. Diddy's and the Kris Jenners and the Epsteins and all these people just stack up all this money so that when anything happens, guess what? They'll use your slavery to money. They'll use your slavery to money, power, and fame. They'll use your slavery to them as an excuse to pay you off or give you whatever opportunity you want so that you shut up. That's not justice. That is not justice. That's why when people are waiting on this justice system to do anything of help and value, I'm like, why are we looking to the current justice system for anything around this? Oh, people are like, oh, we need to wait till there's a trial. Oh, we have to see where's the proof? Where's the proof? Idiots.